sadly, talking about anti-Semitism no longer works. It should, like anti-Semitism is incredibly real, it's rising like crazy, you have even a simple thing like Dave Portnoy, who's an entrepreneur and like podcaster. Just yesterday, some young right-wing kid threw money at him and called him a dirty Jew, and like Dave didn't back down. You have these types of things happening every day. So anti-Semitism is rising like crazy, but we're at a point where people are so tired of anti-Semitism, and young people feel like they just don't have the opportunities that they want or promised. And when you talk about anti-Semitism, their eyes glaze over and they're like, "You don't get it. I want to." Sadly, talking about anti-Semitism no longer works. It should, like anti-Semitism is incredibly real, it's rising.
Hello there, English speakers, and welcome to a maple tree that you can almost recognize, I hope, without the leaves. Interestingly, it's only some percent, if even that, of the tree that is actually alive. Of course, these are dying, but the leaves were alive. But in the actual wood, there is just a very short part of it. So the bark is dead, and the wood inside of the tree is also dead. It's still working to keep the tree alive, even though it has no, it doesn't do any work. So interesting to know about these dead things that are mostly dead. Very weird. Today we will talk about stuff, if we can, for all the birds that are having some arguments, it seems. But let's start by taking a big, deep maple breath. So I made a meme, or more like a motivational image. The lone wolves formed a pack. You can add to this something like now the never-ending hunt begins, but that is for you. So if you have some sort of message that you want to convey, in this case forming wolf packs instead of being easy to defeat lone wolves, then you want to make people think about other things that fit their kind of imagination, and therefore the shorter or less message you have, the stronger it can be for persuasion, or in this case just a motivational kind of image of some brutal but cute looking wolves. Another thing you might notice is that I did add a little bit watermark where it says heddahenriksubstack.com. I often find, as you have noticed, I find some video about some animals doing some cool stuff or funny stuff, but I don't know where they come from. I take them from accounts that just repost others' content, so I don't know who originally did this, and I want to credit them, but I can't. So if you do any video or any meme that you think might go viral and you want to be associated with it, sometimes you don't want that for reasons, but if you do want some free advertising, don't forget that. Good reminder, get your free advertising from your viral memes or movies. So at the beginning you might have seen Shaun Maguire. So he is a Jewish supremacist billionaire, and he is very sad because this antisemitism, it doesn't work when you are yelling that at everyone. It's still so horribly, everything is so anti-Semitic, and these Jews, they can't, commit all sorts of crimes and steal as much as they want. No, they are constantly the victims, and now they have to change some tactics. They could stop, behaving like they do and being entitled pieces of garbage. If they do, I have nothing against them, but of course they craft words like anti-Semitism, and they will try other tricks just to make themselves special. And that will, of course, result in that we will treat them specially in all the ways that they do not want to be treated. That's what they have ordered. You don't get to call yourself a special selected tribe without everyone getting pissed at you. So they will get no jobs, no business, no political power, and their international network should be a lot of dead ends, and they should finally be charged with all their crimes, and maybe the suspected crimes also, of course. And if you are active in social media or you are meeting a lot of people, sometimes they call you retard. So how to think about this? So this is the best reframing of the critique you can get. First of all, if someone writes something like just retard as a comment to your post or whatever, then you know it's about them. They are talking about their mental problems. So you can just ignore them. But even though this isn't about you, them calling you a retard, it's not about you. But you can make it about you. And you can see, oh, here is a troll that is actually so affected by my splendor and my shining intellect that they feel the need to do an ad hominem attack on me. So then you can feel proud out of yourself and you say thank you to the troll, which they do not like, of course. Generally don't engage in trolls, of course, but as this was a very nice troll that made me feel better, I thanked him, of course, in the most satisfying way for me. I don't care about him. He doesn't care about me, and I don't care about him. But I can at least make myself feel better. Grokipedia is going on. It is starting to become better than Wikipedia in some ways. I wonder if it's worth trying to argue with Grok, that is the chief editor of this Grokipedia, and telling Grok that it has to write a lot about X, that it's the most censorship-happy platform, and basically do a hit piece that X deserves. Maybe that's possible. We will see if I spend time on that. What X does, and it does a lot of weird stuff that might confuse people. So if you aren't paying for X, you can't post as much as you want. It will just say that no, you are posting too fast, you're sharing, you're doing too many retweets, etc. That is reasonable, I think. What is bad, that is really sadistic, it's when X not only remove posts, but they remove entire accounts. So they had a lot of accounts that were, according to the Ministry of Truth, nice posts, and there were threads that now get broken and bookmarks that get lost. So this is really bad for X users that accounts are deleted in this way, not only for the person who gets deleted. But the Jews they really want censorship. So they do not care that the company that they are working for suffers from their censorship. They rather see X burn up and get destroyed than not being able to tell people what they can and not can use. And I've had people saying to me that there are a lot of people who are open to paying for X, but of course they don't want to pay to criminals that are stealing my money and behaving like this. So Elon Musk need to clean the house from all the Zionist communists. Elon was saying that the leftists, they are having too much empathy with the criminals, and that of course is a problem, and that's not. First of all, it's not the correct word. The correct word is mercy. So the left shows too much mercy at the criminals instead of their potential future victims. The same, of course, goes for Zionists and communists. We have way too much mercy on them, and few have enough empathy to understand how deeply evil they are, despite that Zionists and communists are quite open with how evil they are and say it all the time, but people don't trust them. Strangely enough, too much mercy is not merciful. So how can you charm Elon Musk? You can talk about South Africa if you have some knowledge there. So I got a anonymous tip. It was not anonymous for me, of course, but anonymous for you, someone who wanted to be anonymous. There is an access bank, Sandton, in South Africa, and they have started now to do racism. They have something called BEE quotas. So this means that if you are a white banker and you're not a Jew, then you can say goodbye to any chance of getting a job there. So, of course, Elon Musk, he posts a lot about the racism in South Africa. He cares more about USA, but still he cares about that. So maybe that's a way to get his attention, but I can't do it myself, because all my backup accounts on X are also deleted. One of them was deleted without any information that it was deleted, or they didn't have any reasons. They just removed the account for unknown reason at an unknown point in time. So that's a shitty behavior from X again. But if you ever want to post something on X and you're new to it, never use hashtags, and definitely never ever use more than one hashtag. You can use one if there is a special thing about it, but in general just write the words and no hashtags, especially if you want to have attention from Elon Musk, because he hates hashtags. So that is my advice there. And then the question is it cool to be a Nazi? I saw an image that says that. And the more annoying, especially Zionists, are becoming, the better Hitler will look. That's just a fact. But of course, if you get Hasbara money, like the account and publication called Visegrad 24, which is a Polish Zionistic account, and now they are lying about that UK really needed to support Poland because it was their ally. So that's why UK declared war on Soviet that invaded Poland. No, not at all. And you can listen to Pat Buchanan and Irving, and you will get to know the other side of the story, which is that Poland did provoke this war just to destroy Poland and to destroy the British Empire. They do not care about that if you are the bankers. They wanted their Second World War and the destruction of Europe, and if they destroy their own British Empire, they did not care. They worship Satan and wanted the destruction. And people are noticing this. And I warned about being a Shabbos Goy, like Matt Welch. That will be unhealthy in the future. Maybe not that's people are threatening. Absolutely don't threaten Matt Welch, but they will make fun of him, which might actually be way worse than being threatened. So another Shaboskoy is called Trump. And if you are this Shaboskoy that are obedient to some Jew, Jews hate you. They don't hate their own Shaboskoy. So Miriam Adelson, she loves Trump, of course, because she has bought him. So that's obvious. But 72% of the other Jews, they do not like Miriam Adelson's Shaboskoy. They can stand Miriam Adelson herself, but not her golem, that is Trump. So if you please one Jew, the other Jews will hate you. That's just how it works. Mark Levin, he insists that every Republican politician, they have to declare if they are for or against the lunatic Tucker Carlson. Yeah, he thinks he's really funny there. And of course he hasn't arguments and stuff. No, just scream anti-Semite higher and louder and more again. Yeah, he thinks that he has the right to decide everything. Another Jew, Cernovich, Major Taylor Greene, got pissed at him, and I can understand that. So he told MTG that she must serve her entire term and she is not allowed to quit. And MTG says that, well, she is working her ass off and risking her life and her family's life. So if he just sits on his fat ass and don't run for office himself, he can just shut up and no one is interested on his opinion on this. But that was not the interesting part. I can say to his defense, Cernovich's defense, if you read his Wikipedia article and then you compare it to the Grokipedia article about him, the Wikipedia article is a total hit piece. It's like someone from the Daily Beast has written it. It's complete garbage. So that says that he's not all bad if Wikipedia feel the need of just slandering him. But we have bias, and I think it's important that I say that I have some biases. So, for example, Kenneth Owens, Tulsi Gabbard, and Elon Musk, I really like them in ways that I like to listen to them or what they are saying. Even when they are wrong, I tend to excuse them. So that's a bias that I have. I also like a little bit MTG, Thomas Massi, and Tucker Carlson. And if they say crazy stuff sometimes, I excuse them for that. Maybe they will correct themselves later on. And a tiny bit I also like Trump, Rand Paul, and Megyn Kelly. But not as much, so if they are fighting inside of these groups. And I really do not like listening to Cernovich. He's annoying, irritating, and not nice. So even if he might not deserve what I think about him, or maybe he does, but no. Did I call him a Jew, by the way? That was wrong. I got him confused with someone else. But no, I have a wrong bias there. Then, what is the Jew governor of Pennsylvania? What is he up to? He thinks that it's time to fight hair racism. Yeah, so if you are black, the Jew thinks that you should be very upset when someone is having like a Rasta kind of hair because they want to create racist problems. They do that because, well, they are Jews and they like to behave like this. So that is, of course, retarded. This was pointed out by End Wokeness. That is Jewish, by the way. So they are differently. Horrible, I guess. Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, he's weird. He wants to have sex with his sister that accuse him of doing naughty stuff. And he has an ex-boyfriend, apparently. His ex-boyfriend did not... he was unlucky. He got robbed and tortured and had to give away $11 million in crypto. So that's bad. But apparently he has an ex-boyfriend. And this OpenAI, according to the most criminal bank in the world, HSBC, so they should know what they are talking about, they think that OpenAI need $207 billion the next 5 years. So that is going well, I guess. Brandon Johnson, that's some sort of black Shabbos goy. And he says that arresting all the black criminals, that doesn't work. Apparently, there are still a lot of black criminals. So his solution is that all the white victims should be arrested instead. If there are no victims, because they are all arrested, then there will be no crime. So that's interesting logic, and of course he's supported by Jews that love him saying really retarded stuff. They do that. But if you let, for example, Jews do what they want, so you take all the Jews and you place them in their own state, and then you build a very high wall around it, and then this state will self-destruct in less than 80 years. That happens every time in history, because they are criminals that will destroy themselves, apparently, if history have taught us anything. There was a shooting that was a leftist, so blame the leftist now. No, sorry, he was a Muslim. So then we can blame all the Muslims everywhere, according to all these Zionist talking heads everywhere. So this was a CIA Afghan that worked for CIA, and he is in USA because that's how CIA and Pentagon works. So they do this in every country around the world. The Jew Mike Pence can explain that without blaming the Jews. But still, good reporting from Mike Pence when it comes to those things. Something needs to be cleaned up there of this CIA and the military deep state that is just horrible. So as they don't care about truth, why should we care when we are reporting about them? Otherwise, of course, we want to care about the truth. But my reporting now is that it was Mark Levin that was dressed up as an Afghan and then he shot. So that makes total sense. Alan Dershowitz, the lawyer of Epstein. Why is he as little arrested as Les Wexner? Hard to pronounce name. It's backwards. Les Wexner not arrested yet, and Alan Dershowitz writing articles about that it should be legal to have sex with little girls because he likes those things, apparently. He probably has a lot of footage from Epstein. Don't you think that? Or people at least suspect that he has, so no one dares to do something about Alan Dershowitz. So I don't know what to think about that, but he should probably not get any power. That's my thought. Burdella, he's the successor to Le Pen in France, and according to the polls, he will win the presidential election that is in 2027 in France. So we'll see what they will do against that, because they can't have, people having anything to say about anything. And finally, if you want to see a cute video that got brutal very fast, apparently cats who are bakers they are not that friendly. So I had to help my mother with working on the dough for her Upplandskub, which is a special kind of bread that she makes every Christmas, and it has to boil for half a day or something. Very not easy to make, but it has a special Christmassy flavor, of course. But with those baking news, stay safe and make the lone wolves form a pack so that the never-ending hunt can begin.